Hello, welcome beautiful vibrant souls to today's pick a card reading, where we are going to be looking at what healing does this connection need. Sorry, I'm trying to make my sleeves comfortable and I'm struggling. No, hang on, let's try the old roll up. We're getting in here today. Gonna do some tarot. It's about the end of that. Okay, so keep in mind that this could be things that you're aware of in a connection. So when I originally sat down to do this reading, my intention was kind of for more of a romantic focus, but I was instructed from my spirit guides to kind of leave it open-ended. So you can kind of utilize this for whatever connection that you're thinking of. This could be whatever stage. You could just be, having a break. You could be on pause. You could be fighting right now, outright separated. This could be somebody that you are estranged from. This could be talking about somebody where things seem like they're good, but they, like healing is always a good thing. Maybe you guys are working through your own issues and you're like very transparent about that, but this is kind of just like wanting to know how you can support that process. So there's a lot of different ways you can utilize this reading is what I'm trying to say. Keep in mind as well that, oftentimes our significant bonds can impact other relationships in our lives. So there might be themes that come through from, if you're asking about a romantic person, this could be, things are unhealed within them from like a parental wound, a childhood wound, and this is impacting your connection, right? If this is, you're asking about your parent, this could be a relationship with their parent that's then creating like generational patterns and trauma that they're trying to work through. So this is going to be a very open, flexible reading. And like I said, some of the things that come through, you might know that these are issues. Some of these you might be like, I don't know why they're acting like this, but I don't get it. And this might lend some insight and thus be able to kind of maybe hopefully open the door to some communication or a change in pattern. Some of these things might be things that you have no idea. If it's like we're just fighting a lot, we can't seem to get in alignment, things like that. So use this reading as you see fit. It's very open-ended for a reason. So all that being said, I think we're ready to dive in. As you saw in the thumbnail, but I will show you, we have 3 options to choose from. We have option 1 with this Plum Blossom Tourmaline. She's so beautiful. Sorry, a car went by, I got distracted. We have option 2 with the Prenite. She's also so beautiful. She reminds me of Tinkerbell for some reason, probably the color. Anyway, and then option 3 with the Hemimorphite Tower. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. I don't know if you can see all the detail, but she is lovely. So pause the video if you need to. Meditate, contemplate on the options in front of you. When you have found one that best resonates with your energy, head down to the timestamps in the description box below. And with that, we're going to get started with group 1. Hi group 1. So you guys chose the Plum Blossom Tourmaline. Look at her, she's so beautiful. I'm mostly showing it again so that way when I'm putting the timestamps in, I know where. I'm like, oh, that's where it starts. So that was for me. Thanks for going along for the ride. I'm getting maternal energy here. So whatever's coming through, you could be asking about a mother figure. This could be if you and your child are kind of having a spat. This could be talking about that. There could be motherhood wounds coming here. For some of you, you've had a challenging relationship with your mother and now you are a parent, and it's kind of like you are trying to parent and there's almost this energy of please don't let me be making the same mistakes. I do see that here. There is, I feel like, a deep desire coming from your energy to heal, to mend. I also want to say to meld. So this could be to really come together with somebody and really form a cohesive bond, a cohesive union. I almost said unit. Okay, cohesive unit in a way that you have yet to do. Some of you need to know, like you're asking yourselves, can I, like some of you have like deep, I feel like motherhood or like attachment wounds where it's like, can I even love somebody like that? Can I even bond with somebody like that? Can I even connect? And it doesn't even just have to be romantic. I feel like this is just close bonds. This could be friends. This could be, I'm almost picking up like, again, maybe like a creative influence. So like being able to work with others, but being able to create something with others and see yourself represented in it, but not feel alone in it, right? It's not all you in there and it's not all them. You have a bond where it can go back and forth. There's equal give and take. There's room for everybody. And I feel like that's something that you guys are very concerned with. So with that being said, let's see what you've got. You've got emerging. Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah, baby. Let's talk about it. So you have inner conflict resolution. It was initially reversed, and I kind of want to keep it like that. I didn't mean to bump the desk. We have a rattlesnake and what looks like a falcon depicted here. We have abundance. This is delightful with the whale. Cleansing, release the old, energetic, tune up, new beginnings. Okay, I really like this. You're the only group that got 2 of these cards, so let's see what you have. Trick or treat, mischief and play. And the spider, yeah, community and web weaving. This is why I'm like, I almost feel like this is not just about one person. So again, there's a creative influence with the spider energy. Sorry if you guys are, I'll try not to pick that one up too much because I know some people get real afraid of spiders, and same thing with the snake. And I don't want to like spook anyone out. I've been working on my fear of spiders for years, but when I was like 10 years ago, if somebody had held that card up, I would have been like, god damn. Sorry about that. I'll try to be mindful. Okay. I feel like, and I'm just noticing too, on either side of this portal imagery, we have 2 people with their eyes closed. This feels like this is revolving around you and another person because we're seeing groups of 2 depicted, but this is about a lot more than that, right? I want to know who this person is first and foremost so I can kind of speak on that. Ace of Swords, this is somebody that you are likely in communication with, somebody you're trying to figure out the truth about. 6 of Pentacles, you're trying to have a good give and take, you're trying to be able to meet each other's needs. And the Moon, you could be dealing with a Cancer or Pisces, but again, there's a motherhood energy here. And the Queen of Cups, more Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. You could be dealing with a water sign. You could be dealing with a mother, but there are motherhood wounds, like I was talking about, that are affecting this situation. Where we have trick or treat, mischief, and play, and we have 2 people dressed up. There's a sense here of you feeling like you don't fully know this person that you're asking about. You might just get this feeling in general with people, like you either don't really know them, or people don't really know you, or an element of both. You could be mirroring this with each other. And so, like I said, I feel like there's one connection in particular you're coming here asking about, but it's bigger than just that. And the reason why with that spider card, community and web weaving, spiders are all about creativity. But they're also, with the web imagery, they're all about the patterns that we weave for ourselves. There's something here where you have this deep wound. Again, there's an energy of like a motherhood wound. You have this deep wound around being able to connect to people. And with trick or treat, mischief, and play, I almost feel like there's this energy of feeling like you can't trust other people, right? Spiders are one of those animals where they are dualistic in their imagery. They are about creativity and personal power and manifestation, but they are also about deception, right? And like kind of, sorry, I'm like fixing my shirt. Like kind of that energy of like waiting to catch prey. And so there's something here where I feel like in this situation and in general in relationships, you might be reserved. You might tend to hold back, and this is likely because you've had some really formative experiences where you felt like you walked into a trap. I'm getting that very heavily. Where you felt like you didn't see the patterns, you didn't see the cycle. I'm noticing, I'm sorry, I'm going to pick up the spider card again, so you can look away if you want to. You ready? You notice on the body of the spider, we have this spiral. It almost makes me think of like the things with the penny where it circles the thing and it like falls through. And you kind of start to see it coming together and going faster and faster and faster. And there's an inertia to it, right? There's a dizzying quality. I feel like you've been in situations where you felt like you didn't see it coming, right? And there's a sense where some of you might struggle with hypervigilance. I do see that as well with the Ace of Swords a little bit. I don't know why I'm getting that from that card. So there's a sense here of wanting, in this relationship specifically, but in general, wanting connections that you can be yourself in, but that also meet your needs, right? There's equal give and take. You may have had some really challenging connections in your past where you felt like you kind of had to hide yourselves. You felt like you were playing a role. You may have attracted, I'm going to be honest, you may have attracted a lot of deceptive people. Now, the reason why is not because you in and of yourself are deceptive. And I think this is where sometimes as a spiritual community, we can kind of get a little distorted sometimes, because yes, we do attract what we are, but it is not always a one-to-one. We do not always attract people who are deceptive because we ourselves are deceptive, but we can attract people who are deceptive in ways that mirror how we deceive ourselves. We can attract people who are deceptive because the thing we have in common, the energy that is attracting them in, is that they are hiding and we are hiding. They are hiding their truth, we are hiding our truth. So while that might be, I'm going to hold back my true thoughts and feelings, you might see that manifesting in the other person by, I'm going to hold back, my true thoughts and feelings, I'm going to hold back my words. There might be something here where, something that I'm also getting is you may have had struggle to have good give and take in relationships. Some of you may have been very blocked to receiving. And I know this is something I had to learn on my personal journey. Part of me, so I never pick a pile before I do them because I don't want to possibly muddy my interpretation with my own experience. But I have a little 4-sided die, and I roll after I do the readings to figure out which one was my pile, if any at all. And so I'm like, I would not be shocked if this one's mine. So story time. I know for me along my journey, I used to be really, really blocked to receiving. Sorry, I have something on my teeth? I don't. When your lip just gets stuck on your gums for a second? I was kind of having that, anyway. There's a sense where, I was really blocked to receiving for a long time, and I'm still working on it. And I thought that by giving other people what they needed, that was, unilaterally the move to be a good partner. Or a good friend. So it was always about, here, I'm going to meet your needs, I'm going to meet your needs. But in a way that I wasn't realizing, I was almost being not deceptive, but, excuse my burp, unintentionally self-sabotaging, because when we don't, part of how we bond is something called reciprocal self-disclosure. It's how we open up to people and we show people vulnerably who we are. And if people only ever bond to us and we don't do the same for them, we're not creating an equal bond, right? We're not creating something that is multifaceted. Same way, if we only ever open up to other people, if we only ever give to other people, we may get attached to them. And there's no reciprocity, right? We're not giving the relationship itself as a separate entity equal investment in order to build it up, right? And that's something that took me forever to learn, is okay, part of me being a good partner is not just showing up, or a good friend is not just me showing up for the other person when they need it, but being able to advocate when I need it, let them, give them the chance to contribute to our relationship. So I would always end up in one-sided relationships and be like, I don't know how this keeps happening, and that was something I had to learn, was okay, I need to let that other person, give them the chance to step up and show me that this relationship is important to them, or this friendship is important to them. And that was a super important lesson. I feel like there's something similar here, where you have in relationships, you might struggle a lot with being able to be open about your thoughts and feelings, especially being able to, with this combination, communicate your needs, your emotional needs. That's a huge thing here. Very, very heavily. So I think it's really interesting. You guys got cleansing, releasing the old, energetic tune-up, new beginnings. I think you are healing this. You've been doing the work, right? And again, there feels like there's one relationship in particular you might be asking about, but I feel like this impacts a lot of other areas of life. This might impact how you show up at work. This might impact how you have a community of friends. Some of you, this impacts, you have a creative project and you'd like to get it off the ground. You'd like to expand, but it would require more energy, more time, and you're like, I don't have time right now, I don't have the energy. You're going to need help, and that's a separate message. You're going to need help, you're going to need support, and so this is helping you deal with that, because we have abundance here, right? And with the web imagery, this feels like there's a lot of things that are interconnected. So by what what you're dealing with in interpersonal relationships is affecting many other areas of life, and Spirit's trying to bring it up because this healing is not just about this relationship, it's about everything. So it's being able to communicate openly, communicate your needs, let other people meet your needs, and be able to communicate your emotions, your emotional needs, and feel like you're not hiding. That's a huge thing. So again, releasing the old, new beginnings, and we have emerging here, right? This new version of self is emerging. The daffodils always indicate kind of a new beginning, a springing forth. Even look how she is holding herself, right? Her body image. She's like this. It's very timid. She's covering her heart and then a little bit of her throat kind of area. So again, this is all about speaking your emotions, communicating your emotions. But this is coming through, right? You have been doing the work. You are releasing this. So this feels like something you're already aware of, but the depths to which this has impacted you might still be unfolding in your consciousness, right? You might still be kind of grasping it. And so I am kind of picking that up here. There's this question of, am I doing enough? Have I healed enough? Am I showing up for this person enough? And with inner conflict resolution coming out in reverse, I do feel like this is something that you guys are working on a lot right now. Trying to kind of ascertain, how do I do this? What steps do I take? And so that's what I kind of want to look into. I want to kind of get a better idea of how this might manifest for you first and foremost. The Hanged Man, you might find that you end up pausing a lot. Things get put on pause for you. You may have attracted non-committal people in the past. Pisces energy showing up. Four of Wands. Oh, and the King of Wands. Okay. Four of Swords at the bottom. Some of you feel like you're always left waiting. Some of you may have had either a Pisces or fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, and felt like you were waiting to build a home with them. And with the plane, some of them may have left or may have felt like they left you hanging, and you're still kind of trying to piece that together. And with the Four of Swords, heal from that. For some, the way this is kind of manifesting and unfolding right now, I feel like this is manifesting where you guys are at a turning point. We see this with the Hanged Man, like we were talking about. I feel like you guys are more focused than ever before on like creating spiritual union, either with one other person or with soul tribe in general, soul family, right? There's a sense here of your soul wants to feel like it has a home, is a huge thing. Some of you are getting really invested in laying down roots. Some of you are getting really invested in like buying. You might be very like focused on buying a physical home or finding like a place to like your place to live, your community. And it's kind of like, it is about the thing itself, but it's also about this drive and this desire to want to feel like you belong, to want to like have this community. And I see with the King of Wands, you're spiritually evolving through this process. There is this, right now things are in pause, but I feel like because you're trying to kind of assess who and what is this for you and what's not, so you can take decisive action. So I see you being in this period of pause as you're trying to kind of figure this out, right? And in this period of pause, there is healing with the Four of Swords. Yeah, Two of Cups, this is all about reciprocity in relationships, feeling seen, feeling held. It's hard to see. There's a little like pink building on this card. And in this deck, that building is on the Seven of Swords, right? Seven of Swords is a card of self-sabotage. There's this sense here where you're trying to kind of figure out, again, who and what is the Four of Wands, the Two of Cups. Some of you are confused about a soulmate relationship, and trying to make sure that you're not cheating yourself again, trying to make sure that you're being honest with yourself about the relationships that you hold. Ten of Pentacles, because you want something long lasting. A lot of you are ready to lay down roots. A lot of you are ready to feel supported by the relationships in your life. What was the question I was going to ask? Excuse me. A lot of you are calling in abundance as well. Abundance of many different facets, right? Spiritual abundance. We have the whale. Whales are always kind of, to me, about like wisdom. There's also this like, again, maternal energy, because they're kind of like a matriarchal animal grouping here. There's a sense here of being led at a spiritual level through very mature, wise, divine, feminine energy. I'm getting kind of almost shaman energy a little bit. You're learning really, really deep lessons, not just for you, but for others that you will lead them with, you will help them with. I feel like you will be leading a community through some of these challenges or through these areas of life. So this new version of self, especially the King of Wands, that's going to be leading people spiritually, is emerging. And I feel like there's this sense of being almost wobbly on your feet about this person or situation, and seeing about like learning this process, like we were talking about. Yeah. Like we were talking about, of learning how to communicate your needs, communicate your emotions, and let people show up for you. Have good give and take. I want to kind of figure out kind of like some of the things how this is manifesting more specifically with this person that you're asking about. And in general, like if you're asking about like, how this manifests with friends or what needs healing in order to find your soul family, this can kind of apply about like how this pattern might come out. Queen of Swords in reverse, yeah, you might really struggle to advocate for yourself, struggle with boundary setting, struggle to be clear and decisive about what you want from people. Justice, Libra energy showing up, 5 of Wands, yeah. And the 7 of Wands. What I feel like happens, a lot of you will do what it takes to maintain the peace, even if it throws you way out of balance. This is kind of how this is manifesting. As a result, because you are prone to doing this, you may also then get defensive about taking on new connections. If your association with connections is, I'm going to give to other people, but I don't expect that other people are going to want to give back, I feel like you might be prone to try to like juggle a lot, balance a lot, really like put other people's needs ahead of your own to the point of burnout. And that might then make you either grow resentful of those people or defensive toward anything new, because you can't, you're giving, and you're running out, right? Even if feel like you're not giving a whole lot, there's a sense here of trying to be, I feel like some of you too, you're very, very focused on trying to be justice for other people, trying to right the wrongs in other people's lives, trying to make it, I'm just noticing, she's got the Sword of Truth and the Scales of Justice, and earlier we have the Sword of Truth, and this usually depicts the scales. It's like you're trying to kind of like right the wrongs almost, right? You know how it feels to be, mistreated or abandoned or not have your needs met. So you go out of your way to try to like balance that out for other people. And again, I feel like it leads to, you either have a lot of people's opinions to kind of deal with. There's a lot of demands on you. There's a lot to juggle. And as a result, it either causes you to, like I said, become a little defensive toward people, or like maybe possibly a little resentful, or to more likely block off new connection, because what you've associated connection with for the most part is more work for you, right? More effort. And so while I think it's important to you at a moral and philosophical and spiritual level to try to do that work, you're not really getting support, right, from your community. And this is why you might kind of feel adrift. You might kind of feel like you generally don't have a lot of people, because it might result in this cycle of, I'm going to help you, I'm going to help you, I'm going to help you. And then I've got nothing left, so I'm going to withdraw. I'm going to retreat. You might go hermit mode a lot. You may also form a lot of one-sided connections. And so when it's kind of time for them to give back to you, that might not be the dynamic you've established. And if you've historically had trouble communicating your needs, that may kind of be the thing of like, oh, well, I've been giving to you, and now I'm kind of like waiting for you to reciprocate, right? You might be very hyper attuned to what other people need. And so when you expect them to reciprocate and they don't, it might kind of be like, okay, I don't need this in my life then. And so this may have led you to a cycle where your support system is a little sparse right now. And so this is, I feel like many of you you're aware of this and you're working on it. This is how I feel like it's shown up. And I want to see what you can actively do to kind of help with this process, this healing process. This is and healing is a journey and an evolving one at that, but like the next steps that you can kind of take. 5 of Swords at the bottom. Some of you just need to straight up disconnect from people who are giving you a hard time. Okay, King of Pentacles. The Emperor. Woo, okay. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, and Aries showing up. The 3 of Cups. Yeah, I think the next tangible steps that you can take to kind of help this process is really focus on your own stability. Make judgment calls on what would truly make you happy. Prioritize your joy and the people that bring you joy instead of the people that bring you headache and heartache. If something doesn't bring you joy and it's not necessary, there we go. There's the door. And some of you, that's a really, really challenging thing. Some of you might have significant Libra placements. And the Libra Aries axis for me is always about the negotiation between the relationship to self and the relationship to others. And so while Aries in its shadow, in its unhealthy, unhealed energy can be selfish, Libra in its shadow, unhealed, unhealthy energy can be overly self-sacrificial. And some of you might just be trying to work on finding that balance. You could also have a lot of either 1st or 7th house placements. So the next steps you really need to be taking are pretty to heal, whether this is one connection or this is, in general, is to really focus on building up yourself, building up your stability, and making executive decisions, making executive judgment calls about what brings you happiness and who makes you happy, right? Who's really there to support you, who brings you joy, who supports your joy, and who is always picking a fight with you, who is, causing you a lot of chaos, right? Because there's a sense here of imagine, being able to speak your truth is kind of like a new baby, doe. this is a new skill set for you. Learning to assert yourself, learning to ask for what you need. This is new. And so, it's on some kind of a good analogies. It's like a little sapling. Someday it will grow into a strong oak where you're going to feel really confident talking about your needs and asking for them to be met and advocating for yourself. But for right now, when it's a baby sapling, protect it, support it, and protect it by surrounding yourself with people who want your happiness, people who make room for your emotions, people who make it easy for you to ask for what you need. That's a huge thing right now, because some of you are putting up with connections that argue with you when you say, hey, I need this, or like, hey, I can't do this. They fight you about it. Well, why not? They try to guilt you, right? This is petty people, especially communicatively petty people. Four of Wands, yeah, because you're looking for something deeper. You're looking for something at the soul that is supportive. And so starting to really get rid of what is not that and cultivate what is that is the next step for you. Now, if you're asking about a particular person or relationship, again, I feel like this dynamic is what needs to be healed in order to improve this relationship. But I do want to kind of pull a couple of message cards from that person more specifically. Yeah, do you remember the time when our souls didn't know each other? Yeah, me neither. We'll meet again, I promise. Whoever you're dealing with, I feel the past life energy here. I feel like they think of you with great affection. They really like you. I want to look at this card. Yeah, we have the same soul in the best of ways. This is kindred spirit. Kindred spirit connection. You guys have fun together. You play. I think some of you have had a hard time figuring out whether this person is for real or not because you've just been stabbed in the back many, many times. And so you're trying to figure out, can I trust this? Can I not? And there's a sense here where this person, there needs to be this healing in general. This person might be here to help with this healing. But there is a new beginning in your life in general. And this person is part of this new cycle. And I think as you're healing through these old wounds, it's going to improve the quality of this relationship. Yeah, they sent the message here is you reminded me how to feel. Thank you. You woke something up in this person. I feel like they have a lot of affection for you because maybe they're very serious. They're very austere. Maybe they've been going through a tough time, but you remind them about how it feels to connect authentically at the soul and how to have fun. I still experience your energy like an echo throughout my entire life. You really impacted this person. If you guys are not in super close communication or contact right now, they still think of you. They feel your energy quite a lot. They see little reminders of you everywhere. This person misses you. I definitely see that. This person has an overwhelming amount of feelings for you in your absence. I definitely picked that up here because they can't, it's kind of like when you leave, they almost can feel you more. They can hear it louder. They hear the calling even louder. So this person thinks a lot about you. You bring this person a lot of joy. You make this person feel a lot of emotions. And you really impacted their life. They still see you in every corner of their life. So I feel like to heal this relationship with this person, keep focusing on your joy, keep focusing on that high vibrational energy, keep focusing on making decisions and sticking to your decisions when it comes to especially the people in your life, but who and what brings you joy, right? Whether you're with this person or not, focus on creating emotional abundance for yourself, focus on your career, focus on creating your stability, focus on finding your power to make a happy life for yourself. And that's going to really help heal this situation. So I think that's everything I have for group 1. Thank you so much for being here. I hope this was helpful, and I hope I get the chance to read for you guys again real soon. Take care. Bye. Beep bop. Beetle up. Hi, group 2. Okay, so you guys picked the Prenite. Look at her, she's so pretty. I'm mostly waving it around, so when I'm looking through the video for the to put the timestamps on it, I'm like, oh, that's the one where I was going crazy with the Prenite. That's group 2. But you guys chose this stone. As soon as I was preparing, I wanted to start blinking very exaggerately. So there might be something where a new perspective is needed entirely in this situation. I'm feeling the energy of a miscommunication. You and this person, you went right past it. Prenite is a stone of the heart. And so there's definitely a need here to see eye to eye and have a very open heart to heart. I really feel the strong energy. There's a miscommunication with this person. Group 1 had kind of more of this energy of like, yeah, they were asking about this one particular connection, but kind of the themes here impacted all areas of life. And I felt like with group 1, like their message was kind of more about their own healing journey and how it's impacting their relationships. With you, I feel like I'm getting the energy of you and one other person. I'm seeing you guys like this, and there's like the arrows going past each other. So I don't think this is about one person's healing journey in particular. I think there is like miscommunication, missed opportunity. You guys are just like not seeing eye to eye. And this feels like this is mutual. Like this feels like a very mirrored energy. This is mutual. This is reciprocal, whatever. I have a burp stuck. It didn't quite come out. I don't know what that was. I'm going to take a sip of my tea. Yeah, so maybe there's something, whenever I start burping a lot in a reading that's like trying to digest something, there's something you guys are trying to kind of digest and trying to understand and break down, and maybe like you go to express it and like nothing comes out. It's just like, I don't get it. I feel like both of you are confused about why you're confused. And both of you are confused and feeling weird and not able to verbalize it. And you're waiting for the other person to kind of be able to, you know, bring it up and be like, aha, yes, that is it. I feel generally from this energy, both of you are generally pretty good communicators. You might be very witty. You guys could have a lot of air placements. You guys could have good banter back and forth. So normally communication flows, but it feels like, sorry, the first thing I got was it feels like it's in the shitter right now. I don't know if one of you kind of talks like that. It's really funny, but it feels like this is like, what the hell is going on? Like, it feels like your communication is just exceptionally bad. It's like I'm from New England, so I'm sure if you've ever lived in a colder climate, you've seen this. But when it's cold and, you know, somebody's on the ice and they are walking and they start slipping and they stick their, you know, legs and arms out and they're trying to catch themselves, and they kind of do, and they try to stand back up again, and they start to slip again, and they do the same thing, and every time they just get lower and lower and lower, and it's like watching a gradual fall down to the ground. That's kind of the energy, and I know it's a very specific example, but if you live in a colder climate, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Like, some people just fall on the ice and bam, smash their ass, and then this is not it. This is like, oh, you got it, you cut yourself. No, wait, you haven't. It's like the emotional highs and lows, very Baroque of us. I don't know why I'm laughing at this, because there's a ridiculousness here. Even though it's like frustrating and confusing, it's like a spiritual ridiculousness of like, what? How is this happening? And I think it's because, generally speaking, you guys could even have a telepathic connection. You understand what's happening, but you also don't, and you don't know how to talk about it, and it's weird. So that being said, let's see what you have. Answered prayer. You guys have been praying about this, praying for this. Sorry, my ear is itchy. You guys have been asking for guidance on this. I feel both of you have been like, I don't feel a lot of like pride here, which is kind of nice. Like, I don't feel like, you know, oh, I know what's wrong, but I'm not going to apologize till they do. This feels like both of you are asking spirit for signs, asking the universe for circumstances to change, asking the universe, like some of you, you know, there's a sense here where you might both feel like the other is mad at you, and you're kind of like praying to spirit, like, please let them get over it. Some of you, you guys just haven't talked, and you're kind of like, please let them not be mad, please let them reach out first. You're both doing the same thing. It's like, I don't know why they're showing me this, because apparently my spirit guides like to use my own life to give me examples. There was a time where I was with all my friends and I was driving. This was years ago when I was young, when I was like 19. And I was driving and I was going down this hill, and at the bottom of the hill there was a stoplight. There was an intersection, and it's kind of busy, but like, we were going down the hill at just the right speed where it's kind of that thing where I'd either have to slam on the brakes or I'd have to gun it and just barely make it through. And so, you know, I was kind of like, I panicked and I just did what I thought I could do. So I put on the brakes, but I didn't quite slam them, and I definitely didn't gun it through. So I accidentally just like pretty much slowed down and just rolled through it. A red light rolled through the intersection, and everybody was just so shocked that I did it that nobody moved. Nobody was turning, nobody took it, like, and everybody just stopped while I just awkwardly rolled through this red light intersection. All my friends in the car just stopped moving. They stopped making noise. Like, my best friend was sitting in the passenger seat, and he's like, yeah, that you could do that too. Like, It has that energy of just like, and like somebody asked me like, one of my friends like piped up from the backseat. She's like, "What you doing?" I'm like, "Nope, this is what we're doing." Okay, I'm gonna commit to this. So there's some confusion here. Maybe you guys like didn't know what to do, so you guys panicked. Again, this is mirrored. Let's see what you got. The lamp with remembrance. For some of you, one of you, somebody may have had a past life memory of this relationship triggered, and it's changed the outcome. It's changed the perception of the relationship. Water codes, ancient wisdom, the intelligence is within you. Some of you, one of you, I feel like one of you went through Akashic integration. Transformation, yep. And this might be if there's a separation, this might be what's happening. And then almost there with the little fox, 44. And we also have 42, so that reduces to 6. 44 is a power number, but it reduces to 8. Okay, this feels like a group where, again, you're maybe in some type of pause or separation. There's a miscommunication here. And you're both hoping that it gets resolved. Foxes are very sly. They're very resourceful. And with it being almost there, this feels like even when you guys aren't talking, there's a sense where like you might be kind of like, I don't want to say sneaking around. You might be keeping tabs on each other. One or both of you, I feel like both of you are working on your own stuff in the periods where maybe you're just not communicating well, you're at distance, at odds, you're separated. You're both working on things spiritually. Again, one of you is going through Akashic Akashic integration, where I feel one of you is remembering the past life bond here. I'm feeling very heavy past life energy. One of you finally remembered the past life energy. One of you is integrating some type of spiritual wisdom. I want to clarify water codes. Queen of Wands. I feel like this is you guys. Two of Swords reversed. The Wheel of Fortune. Okay. And the 10 of Pentacles at the bottom. So 2 10s, the end of a cycle. For you guys, I feel like for you guys, what's happening is you are remembering who you are spiritually, regardless of gender, identity, or expression. You could be a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. I almost said water signs, so Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. You could be remembering who you are. You could be remembering that there is a balance of power here. You have the power to make your own decisions and create the life you want, but you also surrender to spirit. This is like prime co-creative energy. Some of you have been working on your manifestation skills. Some of you have been going through a transformation when it comes to your personal power. And I feel that's what you guys are working on, is this like this knowing, right? The intelligence is within you, this knowing you're unlocking. This could be your Akashic integration, that you're unlocking manifestation skills, unlocking a remembrance of who you are. Some of you are unlocking a remembrance of a past life energy where you were in a position of leadership. Some of you were like a tribal elder. Some of you were a shaman, a wisdom keeper. You are integrating that back in. Some of you learned a very, very significant spiritual lesson in this past life that has recently been reintegrated back in. If that is the case, what is that? This is a lesson to go after what you want. Some of you may have kind of fallen into the trap in the past of almost deferring to spirit without really consulting yourself, right? Your own personal power. It's co-creative. So there's a sense here where in the past you may have surrendered your personal power. Like, for example, you know, stayed in a relationship that didn't respect you because, oh, this person's my soulmate, this person's my counterpart, right? And stayed with them even when it wasn't healthy for you. Some of you may have been like, oh, you know, this is my spiritual work, my spiritual calling. And even though your heart wasn't in it, you felt obligated to do it. Some of you may have kind of been operating under the role of, this is how I serve people spiritually. It's giving very much 12th house energy. This is how I serve people spiritually, but have had it in an unhealthy way. So never really consulting yourself about what you wanted to do or how it made you feel. And again, just like surrendering yourself to spirit with a troubled relationship to your own personal power. This is what you've been healing. You've been going through this transformation about being able to integrate and have a good balance when it comes to seeing the possibilities and making choices, having a good balance between, I'm going to let spirit handle this and I am going to handle this. You guys have become very attractive as well with your energy as a result, because you have intention, you have desire, you have drive, you let yourself want things, you go after what you want more. But you also aren't stuck on it looking one way. And if things leave, there's an understanding of, okay, I put in my request to the universe. So if this is getting removed, this must not be it. I think a lot of you guys have been working on trusting the universe and surrendering to that without surrendering your personal power. So good for you, because that shit's hot. Your person, on the other hand, the person you're asking about, has been going through Akashic integration, and what it has led to is, I feel like, this awakening to the soul bond that you have. I want to clarify remembrance. Seven of Cups, they were very confused. I feel like they've had a lot of like emotional integration. They remember like past life energies between the two of you that were emotionally unresolved. They remember. So there's a sense of like, I feel all these emotions, but I don't know where they come from. I feel like with the Queen of Wands, you picked up on this a long time ago. Seven of Pentacles, you've been waiting for them to get there. It's kind of like, I know we have a soul bond. I've been telling you since the beginning, you old coot, is kind of the vibe. So Seven of Cups, the Sun, and the Nine of Wands. It's a mirrored energy, because I think in a different way, your person, there's Leo energy showing up. Your person has been battling a lot of emotional confusion, or I'm getting almost emotional repression. And the reason why is they have been learning that it is their right, is kind of what I'm getting with the Nine of Wands. It is their right to fight for what makes them happy. Some of them, like, I feel like they couldn't see this connection clearly because they were repressing what made them happy. They weren't going after their authentic joy, their authentic preferred reality, right? What they wanted to create. They were always coming up with logical justifications for why it couldn't work, or why, you know, they were behaving the way they did. But realistically, they were self-sabotaging because they just felt like they couldn't be happy. One or both of you may have Mercury in the 12th house. You could have Neptune in Gemini or Virgo. You could have Gemini or Virgo in the 12th house, is kind of what I'm getting. But that is what I feel like your person has been going through. So your person's remembering. They are tapping into all of these emotions all of a sudden. And what I think it's making them realize is how happy knowing you makes them. I feel like they see you like this. They see you as like this bright, shining sun to them. They see you as very warm. You bring them a lot of happiness. And like, I think this has been kind of the light that's been guiding them, is their attraction to you at a spiritual level, their love and care for you. Oh, kiss. And so they're going through this remembrance, and what this is targeting for them is like, I think where yours is about allowing yourself to go after what you want and feeling like the universe wants that for you. This person, what they're doing is allowing themselves to go after what they want and feeling like they're allowed to have it. And I feel like this is either that they will let themselves have it, or that other people around them. Again, very 12th house, because the 12th house can talk about our relationship to power, both our relationship to, you know, power structures, like, and what other people think, and then our relationship to a higher power and our personal power, and finding a balance between those two. So there's a lot of 12th house energy here, I feel, because of that. You both are going through a transformation, and you are almost there. But there's still, and I feel like with answered prayer, what is answered prayer about here? A new beginning, a new journey entirely. Yeah. I feel like a renewal together. Some of you, you're getting an opportunity to have a relationship that in a past life you did not get to have. The King of Cups, there's a lot of love here. The High Priestess, Pisces, showing up, and the Queen of Swords reversed, but it is not spoken. Some of you, you feel it, and you're wondering like if you're going crazy. You guys, again, have a very psychic, telepathic bond, but there's so much here that is felt, and felt so deeply, that is not spoken. And I think as a result, a continuing issue here with the Queen of Swords reversed is that somebody's not speaking their needs, somebody's not speaking how they truly feel. There's no effective communication here. So this answered prayer is about being able to overcome that, and with the Fool, have a new beginning. Yeah, a new beginning that's characterized with the Nine of Pentacles by both of you feeling secure enough in yourself to create the life you want, to allow yourself to have it, to go after it, to believe that it's meant for you. Yep, Magician. There it is, Gemini and Virgo, Mercury energy, to be able to really watch your words and your thoughts right now, use them to manifest. I rarely ever recommend this, but scripting, I feel like for this group, is very helpful. So I want to see what active steps Spirit wants to recommend for you next in this situation. I feel like this is kind of just keep doing your thing. I still feel the communication being confusing for a little bit. Okay, but you guys are both working at it, especially in the astral realm. You guys meet up a lot. You do a lot of spiritual work together. The Devil, that's why, because there's heavy karmic energy you both are trying to work through here. So the communication might still be a little bit off, a little bit weird for a while. Three of Wands, yeah, keep focusing on your dreams, your goals, keep focusing on the future. The Chariot, keep focusing on success, like keep a mindset of success here. The King of Pentacles, okay, we have Cancer and then Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, and the Seven of Wands. Keep defending your stability, keep going after what you want. This is somebody who bit by bit, step by step gets to where they want to go, very determined energy. So I feel like here, what you can do to kind of help with this situation is just stay focused on your future plans, your future goals. Be willing to go after what you want. I want to clarify the Seven of Wands here. Six of Wands, yeah, be willing to go after what you want, knowing in your heart, in your energy, that this will be successful. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean, you know, always putting in the work here or, you know, doing what it takes to make this relationship work at all costs, even at the expense of you. But keep doing your own personal work and hold in juxtaposition with that knowledge of the fact that your personal work is going to pay off, the fact that this situation will be resolved, this connection will improve. Yeah, because you guys you're finishing a cycle right now, or you've just wrapped one up and there's no more growth there, and you're turning toward a much more abundant cycle, but that is a process. I want to just pull a couple of message cards from this person's higher self. You will always be a big part of me in a way they don't make words for. This person struggles to communicate your importance to them, struggles to sometimes communicate their feelings. I still love you. We have matching hearts. They still feel the same. They feel a lot of love here. This is like, when I made this deck, this was kind of a counterpart card for me. I have seen your soul and I will love you till the end of time. This person loves you very deeply. This person knows that you have a spiritual bond. This person is not ready to talk about it. So I wouldn't say put your life on hold. What's at the bottom? Yeah, our connection was a wake-up call I could not ignore. Believe me, I tried. I'm sorry if I made it hard on you. They know. They know they wasted an opportunity. They know that they've been not great with their communication. They know that they've been not taking this seriously, but they do love you. They see you. I feel like they're starting to wake up to the fact that they see you as a counterpart. They see you as somebody who would make them very happy. They see you as a very spiritual companion, that this is a spiritual bond. Spirituality might be new to them, and that might be something else on top of everything they're having to parse through, because I do see with the Seven of Cups and the Sun here and the Nine of Wands, there's a lot going on for them emotionally, spiritually, psychically, and they're trying to make sense of it. They're trying to get clarity. That's a process, but yeah, this is kind of where you guys are at and how this can heal. So keep going. I believe in you guys. Keep doing your great work for yourself. And I think that's all I've got for you today. I hope this helps, and I hope I see you real soon. Take care. Bye. Hi, group 3. You guys chose the Hemimorphite Tower. I'm just waving it around so when I go to find the timestamps, I'm like, oh, there it is. This is usually for me very much about emotional grounding and finding stability again, because of all my towers, it's the only one that is four-sided instead of hexagonal. And even when I wanted to like get ready for this, I like put my shoulders back. I took a deep breath. Like, you know, when you breathe, you can feel it start to like extend like into, you know, the depth of your lungs. This feels like there's something where grounding is happening in this connection, in this situation. I'm almost picking up this might not be romantic for you guys. For some of you, this was a romance and it's transitioning more to a friendship or a collaboration, like collaborative partnership. Yeah, but there's a sense here of breathing deep and grounding that's happening. Some of you you guys are seeing each other clearly for the first time. And it's scary, but it's also very healing. And it kind of has this energy that, you know, in order to, like, what this needs for healing is exactly the thing that you're afraid of. Excuse me. Exactly the thing you're afraid of. Some of you are afraid to speak up. Some of you are afraid to tell the truth about this relationship. Some of you, there's a sense where you guys are together or you were together, and it's complicated because there is still love here, but it's more of like a kinship, like a friendship kind of bond. And so you're afraid to talk to this person honestly and tell this person because there's a fear of what if our relationship doesn't make it. You don't want to lose them in your life, but it's just not feeling romantic. Some of you, this might be how your person is feeling. This person wants you in their life. I feel like you both want to be in each other's lives. For some of you, there's a feeling of we want to be in each other's lives, but there's something we have to do as individuals, right? Maybe one person's like, I've got to go see this through. I've got to, go focus on my personal success, my personal goals. And it's not just about like, getting money or like having an accomplishment. This is something that is part of the soul plan. It's one or both of you have something that you need to do. And there's a recognition of like, I don't think we can appropriately give to this situation while we're doing these other things. There's a recognition of it's time for us to part for now. I don't feel like this is permanent parting. Because I feel both of you think it's very important to be in each other's lives in a meaningful way. So I do just kind of want to comment on that. Support. Okay, your angels and your guides are with you right now. They're trying to support you through this process. I feel like there's a lot of shared guides between the two of you. And this has been a connection of a lot of support. I feel like both of you feel it's very important to be supportive of each other. That's very meaningful. This is why I feel like even if you guys we're romantic or you are romantic and it's transitioning away from that, I feel like staying in each other's lives is very important. And I think that's actually part of the healing process here. We have birth mysteries. What are you being called to create? Some of you, you're having an important discussion about kids, about whether you want kids, about how many kids you want. Some of you, there might be a discrepancy. One of you wants, I'm hearing another baby, and the other one doesn't. One of you wants, children and the other one doesn't. Some of you, there may be a situation where this is very heavy, and so like I want to put a kind of a trigger warning on this. It'll be brief, but some of you, you're talking to a partner about you've lost a child and you're having a discussion about how to handle that. And for some of you, the loss of this child may have actually kind of destroyed the partnership, and you're having to acknowledge that. For some, you've lost a child and one of you wants to keep trying and the other one might not, or both of you might not, and you're having an honest discussion about that. Because with birth mysteries, right, there's a sense of, I'm picking up like, why did things go this way, right? I'm sure this will lead to something, but why? I don't understand. So there's a sense here where a new chapter is being birthed. And, with what are you being called to create? Again, some of you, you're being called to do something else. I'm noticing the baby's got its little hands up around its ears. One of you might hear the calling and the other one might not yet. And that might be where some of this, this discrepancy is coming in. But you're being called to create something. And again, I feel this is at the soul. This is part of the soul plan. And it's something that can't be ignored anymore. And that's why Spirit's bringing it up and having you talk about it now. Yeah, we have card 3 with evolve into your complexity. We have an octopus in case that's important. And then a 5, nourishment while waiting. We have a mouse and then I honestly have no idea what bird that is. He's a plucky little guy. This was initially reversed and I'm feeling called to comment on that. I do want to put it up, right? I feel like this is what it is. Like one of you feels like they're called to something or called to a different direction, and the other one either might not or might feel anxious about this change with the mouse. There's a sense here of needing to, there's the complexity with this relationship. I think just like cutting each other out of each other's lives is not the way to go. You guys feel a deep spiritual bond, and like that's because there is one. I'm almost getting with the octopus. There's a lot of ways to handle this. And I feel you guys are trying to take a narrow path, right? Either we're together or we're not. Either, we're taking this path or we're not. And there's a sense here about allowing things to come forward, allowing things to evolve how they need to. Some of you want to define what you are with this person, and it's really hard because there's little to no definition. With nourishment while waiting, again, I feel like it's really, really important because this initially came out reversed. I'm almost sensing one or both of you might struggle to take care of yourselves in the separation, might struggle to kind of really support yourself. But I also feel like there's a sense here where there may have been a disconnect. I almost feel like there's a sense like if your person feels like they need to do something else in their life, they need to go in a different direction, I think the way they've handled that in the past is to withdraw from you entirely. And what I feel like, because I want to turn this up right, is part of this part of the healing here is about acknowledging the complexity, acknowledging whatever you're going through, and acknowledging that even though things are changing, there is still this love. You do still care about each other. You do still want to support each other. Because I think this person wants to show up for you, but they're afraid of sending you mixed messages, especially if they've been guilty of that in the past. They're afraid of kind of like, they're afraid of making a promise they can't keep. We have 3 and 5. Both of these are numbers of evolution, growth, and change. And there's a sense that this person is afraid of, you know, let's say this is an ex that really wants to be in your life and be like, you know, be a close friend to you. They don't want to give you the wrong impression. They don't want to like lead you on or hurt you, but they also want to be honest and say like, I do give a shit about you. I do want to show up for you. You are important to me. And be able to, there's something here about allowing things to, like, again, evolve and come through in a very authentic way, allowing them to speak their truth and not have it need to mean one particular thing. And this goes both ways, you being able to speak your truth. For some of you, you guys want to like define like how to handle each and every situation with them, and there's a need to be able to kind of like this feels like something that's helping you both go with the flow. I feel like it's helping one of you be very, very mindful about their actions and the impact of their actions, and helping the other one to be really present with themselves and their needs, and as things flow, be able to check in with themselves and say, this works for me, this doesn't work for me. There's work that's being done here, but there is a significant change. And so while it might not be what you guys initially planned on for the connection or what you initially wanted, at the heart of it, there is a lot of love and care. You guys care about each other. There may have been, I'm almost getting with this energy of this octopus, this like energy of almost deception or like manipulation. And this is something that this person I feel wants to clear up with you. This is part of the healing process. Excuse my burp. Is being able to kind of look at this and be like, you know, they want to be able to reassure you, 5555 on the timer right now, that there's a lot of change going on in their life, and like they were trying to handle everything. So if they missed something or they didn't handle a conversation well, it was just kind of like, it wasn't intentional. They really want to reassure you that they care about you. And again, this can go both ways, right? Tarot energy can resonate both ways. So this could be where you had a lot to deal with and somebody's important to you, but you know, maybe you can't give them exactly what they were looking for, but it doesn't mean you want to give up on them entirely. This is, I feel like, what's being worked through here. And I think with birth mysteries, you know, what are you being called to create? You guys can create a very meaningful, unique, you know, connection, friendship. Some of you might be moving from like a personal relationship with this person into a business relationship or vice versa. And it's like, it didn't work out in one area, but it actually works really well in another area. So this might be where, you know, maybe as friends, there was like a mismatch of emotional needs, but as business partners, you guys work really, really well together, and that's it. Spirit brought you together with this person for a reason, but I don't think it's the initial reason you thought it was. There we go. That took forever to channel. Night song with hidden talents. Yeah, I think this is meant to, the healing here is in being able to have honest discussion about this and let things evolve, not try to force it into one particular thing, because I think it's going to bring forth a lot of kind of hidden skills from the both of you. I'm hearing like latent skills from the both of you. Now, again, this could be where you might have come together, you know, as friends, as lovers, I never use that word, and then you end up doing something creative together, you end up starting a business together, you might have come together to run a team, and you end up being friends and like making this really cool kind of community. You were brought together for a reason, and it's this process, because I think you guys at its core, you guys have either like some similar type of like creative spark, maybe a similar sense of humor. I'm getting Mercury, so I think like Mercury meets Venus. So there's a sense here of like what you guys can create, the way you kind of toss ideas back and forth. You guys are on fire. And there's an area where it works very well in your lives and an area where it works very poorly. If you like to look at synastry, look at in your charts where you have things that are trine from one another, or conjunct, I would say, versus things that are like square or quincunx especially. So this could be a thing where like maybe your Saturns are trine, but your you know, your, I'm blanking here. Hang on. Oh, your like sons are quincunx, right? You could have a similar work ethic, but then have ego clashes. This could be where, you know, your Venuses are trine, but your Mercuries are square. So the love is there. Maybe you create things together very, very well. It's very harmonious in that area. But when it comes to communicating, it's terrible, right? There's kind of that energy here. And so there is complexity because you do have something like that, again, with that trine kind of energy, you do have something that is this raw, beautiful potential. And you can't ignore it. And that's why you guys are drawn together, because you're brought together for a reason to create something beautiful. Some of you, I'm getting this like, some of you are you're either like, you're gonna have a child with this person, like you're currently expecting or they're expecting, or that's what's gonna happen in the future. But it's not going to be the way you think. It might not be a traditional relationship, right? There's kind of a sense where, but whatever it is you make, it's going to work really well for you guys. And that's the important part. And I feel like with Evolve into Your Complexity, it's not going to be something that you had planned. It's not going to kind of be what you wanted, but it's actually going to end up being a great fit for both of you. Some of you, this is what's happening. There was a surprise pregnancy, and this is what's forcing the relationship to evolve. Nourishment while waiting, making me think of a pregnant lady. Birth mysteries. There's a sense here of you may have just had something casual and now it's having to evolve into something more. I want to know more kind of about this situation. So what was this situation before that was like not it, or like the dynamic with this person that was kind of not it? It feels like, again, something that's either inconsistent or it's not acknowledging all sides of both participants. Judgment. This is a turning point. So this is where you're at a turning point in your life. It may be that you guys connected when you're kind of wrapping up a big cycle or phase of your life. And it's kind of like, that's how you know the relationship. And the relationship now needs to evolve and change as you both evolve and change, right? Evolve into complexity. I absolutely see that here. These could be where there's past life energy with this person and it's very familiar to you, but you also are both being called to grow and evolve. And that's where the discomfort in the work is you might default back to an old dynamic with this person, but you also know you need to grow. Four of Swords, okay. Four of Pentacles reversed, the Page of Pentacles, and the Devil. So the old kind of thing that was happening here is you guys, first of all, may have been acting out childhood patterns and wounds. I see that very heavily. There's a sense here of lacking stability. I do feel like especially this comes in with communication. One person may have really wanted to open up, the other person not so much. There could have been a huge lack of stability. One person wanted to heal that, and the other person not so much. One person wanted to understand spiritually what's going on here, and the other person was kind of like, yeah, we'll figure it out later. But there's a sense here where the pattern that was a problem was in what was being given, right? The page is a student. The page is kind of like an apprentice figuring it out. What is this Devil here? This could be where somebody, was giving to the wrong, the wrong type of connection, the wrong things in their life. They're outgrowing old, kind of more immature patterns that are now not healthy for them. The Chariot, yeah, this is because there needed to be, Three of Wands, hello. There needed to be this, the Charioteer is so successful because they've done the shadow work. And so in order to move forward, shadow work had to be done or needs to be done. And that's what has either occurred or is occurring. Queen of Pentacles, yep. 10 of Pentacles, wow. And the 7 of Wands, interesting. Whenever I see the King or Queen of one suit and then the Page of the same suit, that's a parent-child relationship to me. So again, that would confirm there are childhood wounds here. I feel there were childhood wounds around being able to fully being able to fully commit. This is the card that flew off, was the Nourishment while waiting. Being able to fully commit. Somebody may have committed to people and circumstances that are not serving them, not good for them. There's an element of almost self-abuse happening here. Because what I'm seeing, look at how we have the placement. This person's looking at the 10 and the Queen of Pentacles. And the King and Queen of Pentacles rule the Empire. That's the 10 of Pentacles. Even though there's a sense of asking for this, I want stability, I want growth, I want an equal partnership, I want somebody who's loving, grounding, giving. I feel like somebody here was fighting that off. If things are like kind of evolving in like a non-linear way, or a way you hadn't anticipated, it's because the way, I feel like there was like more of a traditional approach that was being taken. And so while people may have said they wanted that, they were also fighting it at a subconscious level. They were fighting, I feel like, committing. Somebody viewed commitment as kind of like being trapped, being stuck. And that's kind of like, that's why there needs to kind of, there needs to be a different approach here, because I feel that this person, again, you and this person want each other in your lives, but this person especially, I feel, might be very blocked toward that. So it's like, they want this, they want the family, they want the stability, but they have a lot of healing to do around that. We see that with the Four of Swords, a lot of healing to do. So there's something about taking a different approach, or a unique approach, because you're meant to be in this person's life for a long time and vice versa. And that is what they want. But that's been the cycle, is come here, go away. I want this, but as soon as it's here, fuck that. And there's a lot that's being healed through this situation. I kind of want to know where you guys are at right now, because I'm nosy. I just am. I only want to pull 2 cards for this. Six of Cups. You guys are both thinking about each other. You're both reminiscing on the past. One of you might be going through kind of this like Akashic integration and really remembering past life energy you've shared. But there's a sweetness. There's a fondness. There's a nostalgia. I was going to say memorabilia. So maybe they have things of yours, or like memories of the relationships, pictures, notes you've written. I'm seeing magnets on somebody's fridge. Yeah, pictures. I'm seeing something being framed. So anything you framed for them. Some of you, this person, you were with them when they graduated and you framed their diploma for them, and it means so much. That I'm hearing, I would have never hung that stupid thing up, but you framed it. It's kind of the vibe. Okay, so the dynamic here was death and the 9 of Swords. I feel like there's anxiety, and this goes both ways. The dynamic that you were dealing with is this person, I feel, had anxiety about the change, the fact that they had to change. They knew that it was time to start doing things differently. You had anxiety about this ending, or you have anxiety about this ending, I feel. And again, this can resonate vice versa, but there's a fear here of endings and change that manifests for you both separately. And I think this is what was causing any difficulty before. How did this cause difficulty? Again, I'm feeling this energy of stonewalling, pulling away, not dealing with things. 3 of Pentacles coming in. Okay, somebody may have gotten overly focused on work. Yeah, the 3 of Swords to avoid heartbreak. And Justice. There could have been a sense of somebody wanting to commit, and that brought up a lot of fears. And so somebody else ran away into work. 3 of Pentacles. Somebody else ran away into another connection. 3 of Pentacles is also a baby card for me. So this could have been brought on by, like, again, let's say you guys were casual and then somebody got pregnant and is like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. It's this whole situation that has brought up a lot of fear. And for your person, I feel like it also brings up a lot of pain, unhealed pain from the past. And this is why they've been so afraid to make these changes. Look how in this placement, death is coming for this person, right? Sneaking up on them. And it's almost like they're worried about it. They kind of feel it coming up behind them. Your person has known that what they were doing is not working for them. And so while they love you and they are drawn to you, there's also a significant amount of fear, because they know they're going to have to answer to this. They know they're going to have to deal with their stuff, and it's going to be painful, right? And it's in order to create balance, but hey, the truth can hurt, right? The truth will set you free, but first it'll piss you off. And like this person I'm hearing is afraid to cry. This person's very afraid to cry. Even when they're by themselves, they're afraid to cry. They're afraid if they start, they won't stop. This person has been running from their pain for a very long time. Especially that Page of Pentacles, devil energy. I feel like this person could have had a family culture where they were hyper-focused on money, hyper-focused on work. This person could have gotten their material needs met, but that was about it. This person may have had to teach themselves a lot. Because the Page of Pentacles was kind of like looking confused in this version and offering it toward the devil when we initially pulled the cards. This could have been a sense where this person felt like they had to figure out a lot for themselves. Everything, they're like, I don't know if this is right. They had to like learn a lot through trial and error. And they might still be like that. And that might be a difference between you two, is they need to kind of learn by doing, and like figuring it out. And that just might be a longer process. But there's almost this energy I was picking up where it's like they might struggle a lot with perfectionism, because they may have had a family culture where no matter what they did, it was never good enough, right? It's kind of like, don't come back to me until, you're the Knight of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles kind of a thing. And that may have been a huge focus. So again, too, if like this brought up a lot for them. They might retreat into work because it's comfortable for them, but it also makes them feel like they are worthy, or they are working toward being worthy. This person has a lot of negative experiences around conditional love. Sorry, I have something stuck to my shirt. Or around conditional love, and that's impacting and coloring this connection. I want to know what steps Spirit is recommending you can actively take like right now to kind of help bring in healing, because I do think there is healing that is happening. Feels like it is very slow moving, and some of the healing I feel for you is about finding this flexibility. The Queen of Swords reversed, yeah, I feel like there's a sense here of you've been working on your boundaries, and that's beautiful. There's a sense here of being willing to put some of those down and let things flow. This is upright, somebody who knows what they want, and they're not afraid to say it, and they are sticking to it. There's a sense here of let things evolve as much as possible. Let things evolve and try to soften to this person. Because there almost feels like, into this experience, there almost feels like they know, if, I have standards, if it's not this, then I don't want it. And I think normally that serves you very well, but here there's a need for, it's nuanced, and there's a need for a nuanced approach. Some of you have blocked this person, and there's a need to, or there's a recommendation to, when you're ready, listen to what they have to say, hear them out. The Fool. Okay. The Four of Swords. Okay. The Ten of Wands. This is a pretty clear message to me that for you, the next steps you can do are really heal. You're carrying the burden of a lot of frustration, a lot of, anger. You're carrying the burden of wanting it to go a certain way. And it's like, no, I am going to go that way. Some of you really wanted a house. Some of you, this is even just about like, some of you might have wanted like something more traditional, right? We like get married, get a house, have a baby. That's something in that order. And there's something that's going out of order here. But there's a need for you to do some healing work. Whenever I see houses like this, sometimes for me, it can represent kind of like family structures. It can also represent, like the conscious, the subconscious, and the unconscious kind of a thing. And so there's a need here to just keep going on your work, keep healing. Because I feel like, we have the Fool, and the Fool carries very little with them, indicating they really kind of like released a lot of their baggage. And I feel like that's what Spirit's encouraging you to do. I also feel like there's a sense here of try to take a playful approach with this, as this evolves. Try to look at it as a journey, as an adventure. I feel like this adventure will bring a lot of healing, will help bring up for release a lot of awareness about things, the burdens that you carry. What is this Ten of Wands? And this could go back to even like childhood wounds for you. The King of Swords. Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna like watch them like a hawk. The Moon. Okay. The Six of Pentacles. I think you guys have been wronged. I think you guys have given people the benefit of the doubt before, and you have gone into something with flexibility and been taken advantage of, right? You have not had your needs met. And you may have outwardly, like even outright been deceived by people, but it's like you may have felt like people took advantage of your better nature, and I feel like not anymore. We saw that Queen of Swords earlier coming out reversed. Now we have the King of Swords, right? So all these two clarifying the Ten of Wands. I feel like you're very shrewd. You are smart as fuck. Like, you're very shrewd and you're very intuitive, and you know what to do with it, right? You get that intuitive download and you're like, great, I'm going to do this with it. You see the big picture. You see how everything fits together. And so there might be a sense where you take a top-down approach, and this person might be the opposite, right? Especially like you could have an approach where like you like to plan everything out, talk everything out. And this person likes to do things one step at a time. You might kind of like see where something is going and want to, address it miles ahead, be like, I see this is going to be a problem down the road. And this person is much more of a we'll deal with it when we get there kind of person. This person's much more like learn by trial and error, because this person learns by observing and kind of like analyzing and like computing the data to make the best response possible, the best decision possible. And I feel your person does things differently. They tend to be more trial and error. And so you might have an answer for something that like is much quicker, or it's for things that are way down the road. This person doesn't, because it's just not the way they think. It's just not the way they solve things. And so I feel like for you, there's a burden here with the Ten of Wands of being able to kind of see how things are going to play out. And so what's being asked of you is both patience and to be willing to kind of let your mind rest. Allow yourself to take a new view of this situation and this person, because I feel many of you, you're very guarded with this person against them playing you, and that might actually be for good reason. But this person does want to be a part of your life. I want to see what this person wants in terms of like how they want to be a part of your life, right? The Four of Wands, they might want the same thing that you do. It's just a different path. This person might want to, it's really specific, live with you, but not necessarily be in a relationship. And you might decide that that's not enough for you, but they might want to be like best buds. They want to be close to you. They want to be in your space all the time. They want to be in your life often. But, and I think they respect it if you say no. I'm really drawn to the phone in their hand, and they have the phone in their hand here. You might hear from this person soon. This person wants to have unity with you in some way, shape, or form, just different than you thought. The Star, it's going to be a little kind of like, you know, it might not be the traditional path. It might be kind of outside the box. The Page of Cups, but this person feels it very heavily. They really do love you. Some of you, this person wants to have a child first before you like get settled down or before you get married. Some of you want, some of you, this person like, gosh, I had it and it just fell out of my brain. What was this? Oh, some of you, this person might want to have a really unique type of relationship, like a platonic life partner kind of a thing. Some of you, this is also very specific. This person either wants you guys to buy houses together, like near each other, or like buy a plot of land and build houses next to each other, or even like buy a duplex and you both have half. This person wants to be near you often. They really don't want you to go. I don't know where that's coming from. They really don't want you to go. But I think they might need it to look different than you thought. And I think this will actually bring you a lot of happiness. What is this? The Six of Pentacles. They want to be close to you. They want to be able to meet your needs. But what is this thing that makes it different than, and it'll be different for everybody. The Star here, like they really want to be near you. They want to be close. They feel like you're close spiritually. Yeah, the Queen of Swords, they're really just asking you to hear them out. What is the Star though? The Five of Wands. Okay. The Seven of Chariots, the Chariot, and the Ace of Wands. So for some of you, this person wants an open relationship, and I do have to say that. For some of you, this person is already in a relationship, but they do want to have something special and significant with you. For some of you, this person, you might be long distance, and like that kind of works for them, or like, you know, there might be something where there's challenges that need to be overcome, and this person wants to acknowledge that. Or there might be a challenge in the way that might work well for you. Like for some of you, this person really wants to have a child with you because they think that you'd be great co-parents, but they don't want a relationship. And for some, it might be vice versa. They really want a relationship with you. They want the stability, but they don't want to have, they might want to have a different type of family, but they don't want to have like more of the traditional thing. There's something here about doing something outside the box. Like I said, for some of you, it's like a really like off the beaten path kind of a thing where like they want you guys to like have houses near each other, or some of you, they want to be with you, but they want to live in separate places. Like they want you guys to always have your own houses. Or again, I feel like they'd be willing to compromise with you, buy a duplex together, and you both have your own sides. This person, what is it that their needs are? It might be for space. The Nine of Cups, because this person, it's still very important for them to be able to feel like they can do what they want. Their accomplishments might be very important, their goals. So for some of you, you know, this might be long distance, and this person wants to stay long distance a little longer because it allows them to kind of go after their own things. Some of them, they're not really ready to have a huge commitment. Some of you, they want you to, this is so specific and weird, they want you to kind of like have fun and date other people. They want both of you to be able to do that, but there's a recognition of you and I end up together in the end. When we're ready to settle down, we settle down with each other. Now, you don't have to take these. This is just what this person kind of is thinking of. Two of Cups, there's love here. They genuinely love you. But to get more clarity, Nine of Cups, the Five of Swords, and the Queen of Wands. I think this is the difficulty because they feel so drawn to you, regardless of gender identity or expression. They feel like you are a partner at the soul. They're very attracted to you. But they also really want to be able to do what they want to do and not feel guilty about it. And that might be the source of a lot of fighting for you guys. For some of you, there is somebody that they are very attracted to and they would like an open relationship because they feel like they can't stay away from this person. But it's more like something, it's a temporary satisfaction. Their actual feelings are for you. And again, don't do anything that you don't want to do. Respect yourself first and foremost. But when this person says that, it's not meant to disrespect you. They're trying to be honest and say, like, I feel like I can't help myself around this person, but I know who I want to be with. I only want to be with you. You're the one who has my heart, very much so. This person, I feel like, wants to work on being more devoted to you. I don't know why I'm pulling so many cards. I'm just fascinated by this. Like, what is this? Some of you, like I said, it didn't work out like romantically, but creatively, they think you guys could work so well together. Some of you, again, they feel like it didn't work out romantically, but you guys would be great co-parents. 3 of Wands, they really see you in their future. They see you making something together. 10 of Swords reversed, they know they hurt you. We have the word deadline here. So they may have kind of waited too long on something or taken a long time. They missed the opportunity. 8 of Pentacles. Okay. 10 of Wands. The Wheel of Fortune, my goodness. And the Empress. Okay, so this is the thing. I feel like they missed an opportunity either in their own lives before or with you. And they really don't want to miss it again. They've been doing a lot of work. Or they are prepared to do a lot of work. They are really kind of trying to go with the flow with the Wheel of Fortune, but they do see you as the Empress. They see you as the person that they end up with in some way, shape, or form. And they're trying to kind of let things flow in that direction. And so flow is really the main thing here. So the greatest thing that you can do right now is to kind of like hear them out, contemplate the options in front of you, seek spiritual guidance and support. I want to see kind of what you can do in your own life to help with this. Okay, Page of Cups, maybe, keep working on inner child healing, get in touch with your emotions. Page of Wands, also too, heal through creative projects, heal through making art. Judgment, because I feel like you guys are also at a turning point in your lives. Allow, especially if you guys are really young, allow the relationship to evolve, allow cycles to happen here. And the King of Wands, I feel like you guys are reaching this place, especially because we've had the King and Queen of Wands, where you guys are spiritual partners. You're meant to make something together. Some of you, again, you're meant to have children together, but you're meant to make something together, and it's just going to be different than what you thought. So I think there's an importance here right now in your, like, focusing on your own spiritual growth journey. Really reflecting with the Judgment card about kind of where you've been and where you want to go, and just your life journey thus far and the lessons you've learned. Some of you with the plane here, take a trip, kind of like get some new energy. But I want to pull you a couple of message cards from this person. It's okay that things ended. Beginnings can't happen. Beginnings can't happen without endings. Don't be afraid to begin again. So for some of you, you guys have separated and it's been a minute, and this person actually like really wants to come back together. You made me believe in magic again. Yeah. I think about that extra special day we had together as much as you do. So if there's a day that you always are like, well, I always remember that time. They think about that a lot too. And they feel like this is a very magical situation, a very spiritual connection. I was a lucky person the day I met you. I don't know why I'm wanting to look at a lot of these. You reminded me how to feel. Thank you. So again, you've brought forth a lot in this person. Final card. I know and validate your desire to understand why. Trust in the sacred magic of timing. So again, there's that Wheel of Fortune kind of energy. Same thing with I was a lucky person the day I met you. This person feels lucky that they know you. They feel like what you've got is, you've got magic, right? You caught magic in a bottle here. They think about the special times you have together. And I think what they're trying to say with this is whatever cycle has ended, whatever you already went through, it's okay that that ended. It's okay that that came to a close. It's okay that the illusion was shattered, because new beginnings can't happen without those endings. And they're asking you at a spiritual level not to be afraid of beginning again and letting things grow, right? Trust in the sacred magic of timing. So you might be waiting on something. Again, there's a timing issue. And they're saying, I know that you want to understand why. I validate that. But there's something magic happening here. Let it. So I think for the healing process, really turning to your creative projects, the things that make you feel good about you, doing more of the healing, and thinking, kind of taking some time to reflect on the chapter you've just closed up in your life, and how far you've come in your own spiritual journey is going to be a really beautiful energy that might help bring this situation forward. This person, I feel, does want to reach out and talk to you fairly soon. And, please do with this as you see fit. But whatever they say, you're being encouraged to at least hear what they have to say. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do, but at least hear what they have to say, because their feelings are sincere and genuine, even if you don't want to accept the offer that they might be making to you, okay? And I think it'll be healing for you to hear it. So I think that's everything I have for group 3. I hope this has been helpful. Thank you so much for being here. It's been an honor and a joy to read for you, and I will see you soon. Take care. Bye.